Okay, so in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to create a login and sign up form, but we're going to be making an animated form which is going to fade in and fade out the login and sign up. And right now, I've just added like the basic setup here, and this is what we're going to change from this into this. So just to show you what I've done to make all of this is like the basic setup for this. So first, I've created a use state to toggle my class, okay, and I'm gonna call this login active and sign up active, okay, just to indicate which is active and which is not. So after that, I have basically just added 2 columns, okay, 6 columns inside of this row, which is basically half of this and half of this. And then I've just added 2 inputs, okay, 2 floating labels. And also, by the way, this is Bootstrap. You can do this in Tailwind CSS if you want, up to you. After that, we have our inputs and our label, and same for the password. And then we have a button here, which is this, okay. So that's one half. The other half, I've actually added a column to add a little bit of spacing in between. And then in this, the other half, I'm adding just a title and some text, okay. And also I've added a button to toggle using the on click event the sign up and login, and it's the exact same thing for this one. This has a column of 5 and this has a column of 6, and there's a column of 1 for some spacing in between. So this is like basic setup here, okay. And if you're wondering why these are floating, this is something in Bootstrap that is pre-made for you. You can make this in Tailwind CSS as well if you want, but this is the basic setup. So we're gonna be animating this. And by the way, we're centering using the m-auto, and you have to make sure this has full height, okay. And then also we're adding a shadow, and we're using a card, okay. So this is already done, okay. So let's get started with the CSS. So the first thing, if you go to the bottom of this, right, I just created a div that has a class of black panel, okay. And I'm just gonna take this, right, I am just going to take this, and this is just some styling that I've done, okay, to counteract the default things you already have, okay. In this also, you can change this to white or transparent if you want in this, okay, in the form control, which is form control is the input, by the way. As you can see, the input has a class of form control, okay. That's like the basic Bootstrap thing, okay. So I'm gonna do this at the bottom. So here, actually, you know what, let me just add this here first. I'm gonna keep this empty for now. I'm gonna come back to this later. For now, I want to fix this. These 2 are showing up. I don't want that. I definitely don't want that. So what you can do is, if you go to the very top, you will see by default it is login dash active. So I'm going to take dot login dash active, okay, and also I'm going to copy and I'm going to add in signup dash active, and I want this to have a display of flex, okay, and in this I've given my login form, like where the row for my login form, basically this part is, okay, I show you this by closing this, right? So I have one class for my login form and one class for my signup form, which is login form, okay, and then the signup form, okay. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna say dot this, and I'm gonna say sign up, okay. So if this sign up dash active and then the sign up for it has a sign up form, make the sign up form have a display flex, okay. Copy this, I'm gonna say display none, and I'm gonna save this, okay. Let's see what happens. As you can see, I have only the login showing and it is in the center, okay. So now we have this. So now we need to add a card, which will be black and to the right. But first we need to add position relative to the main card. The card, okay, which is basically this, okay, this. So my card dot card is going to have a position of relative, and my panel, black panel, is going to have a position of absolute, okay. It's going to be top 0 and left 0 for now, and I'm going to have a background color of black, and I'm actually going to go with a little lighter color. And I'm gonna save this. It's gonna have a width of 100% and a height of 100%. As you can see, it's taking all of this area, okay. I don't want that, so what I'm gonna do with this is make this 60. This is going to be 150%. Okay, as you can see, it's working. Okay, so right now it's going to the bottom, right? But I don't want that. So this I'm going to make, let's say 75%. negative 75%. So it's 25 for this, and for this I'm gonna say negative 10%. So I think we're good for this. We'll adjust this accordingly later, but for now we're gonna add transform, and we're gonna go into rotate. I'm gonna choose 45 degrees. I think that's good. Actually, I'm gonna go with 26, 25, and I'm going to move this up a little. That's too much. 40. That's good. And here I'm gonna add 5. Okay, so this is good, right? You're seeing that half of this is now cut off, but there are still problems here. Let's fix that. And you can easily do this by doing the z-index, which is going to be 0 for this, and the same for our forms, okay? But this is going to be 1. Let's save this. As you can see, set the top. And the form controls, I'm just going to make this transparent, okay? Because now this is just going to be a part of this. And now our card, it's going outside of the card. So what do you do for that? The card that we have, I'm going to add a overflow hidden. As you can see, we have this, but there is a slight problem. Okay, I'm just going to, for this, I'm just going to expand the card to, let's say, 160 for now. Yeah, that fixed it. Okay, so this is our card, right? So we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to target the sign up. Actually, I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna put this here. And now what I'm gonna do with this is, we need this, okay? And the width and the height is also fine. And this, okay, so I'm gonna remove this, and I'm gonna remove this, okay? So here, just to keep things simple, I'm gonna say that this is for when this is active. Oh, sorry, active, okay? When we have login active, the black panel inside of this is going to move. I don't need a position, and I need these. I don't need this. The width and the height are fine. The transform, I don't need the z-index. Okay, and I'm just gonna copy this now. I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna say sign up. Okay, so when I have the sign up, right? I'm gonna save this. You will see that I have the sign up form now up, and everything, this card is on this side, right? So when the sign up has the black panel, right, I want it to be yes, this, but I want the left to actually be on the other side, which is something we can do. If I go into inspect element, first I'm going to make sure everything for our login form is adjusted correctly. can just increase the width of this. Okay, let's make this 70, and accordingly we can adjust this now. It's gonna come to this, right? So let's adjust this a little bit. Let's make this 20. This looks good. I'm gonna copy this and I'm just gonna paste it in for this one. Okay, that looks good. So I'm gonna save this and change this back to the sign up one. So now we're going to change this to this side, and we can easily do this. I go into this, right? So let's change this to 20. Let's go 50%. Yeah. And let's change this. Let's just copy and paste that in. Just save this. And now, since we have this toggle, okay, if I click the login, you will see that it changes. If I click the sign up, you will see that it changes. Actually, we should push this a little bit more out. So let's push this out a little bit. Okay, this looks good. 48. Okay, so let's go in this and let's add 48. Okay, so this looks good, but now we need to animate this, right? So it's really simple. So first you can do is transition and go to left 1s and then add transform 1s. Okay, let's copy this. Let's add this into this as well. Let's save this. All of my changes applied. Okay, so I'm going to change some of the values so that the animation looks better. So let's save this. And now, if I click this, now we need to add a fade in effect for these. So we can easily do that. Do at key frames, okay, and do 0%. Do 50%, do 100%. Okay, and inside of this, what we're going to add is opacity, which is going to be 0 by default. It's going to be 0 as well. This one's going to be 1, and we're going to call this fade in, and we're going to add this into this. So when this is active, I'm going to say animation. Okay, and in 1 second, and he's in. Okay, I think that should do it. So let's do this. And I know there's a little bit of a lag here that you're seeing. That's because this is animation. So I'm running a lot of things on my PC right now. And because of that, it's processing this animation slowly. But if I turn the recording off, this is a very smooth transition. Let's reload this. Do this. this, do this, do this, do this. As you can see, we have a beautiful login and sign up form. So I hope you liked this tutorial. Like and subscribe for more tutorials like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.